Pretty straightforward here. We are going to do on the Lancastrian side over here, the only way that I can stop those kerns from routing off the table is if I can get everybody moving forward. So I'm going to call for the general advance to the east, and everybody will just move eastward. All right, we'll see how that pans out. They do have a limit of advance of like 18 inches past the Roman road. On the Yorkist side, the orders are a bit more complex. So Sir Richard Croft here with the longbowman is going to be ordered via messenger, which he's easily within the galloping distance. He's going to be ordered to take charge of this heavy horse unit, and then from the vanguard, and then charge the closest enemy knights west of the Roman road. So he's going to take charge of them. They're going to rally, and then he's going to lead them back in the battle somewhere. My guess is it'll take him a bit to catch up with them. They'll probably be over here where he catches them. The rear guard, the two stands of billmen are ordered to come up on line here on the Roman road, and then the vanguard itself is supposed to form a battle line along the Roman road. These two elements are. And so they're going to wheel backwards, which they're allowed to do. Same thing could be accomplished by backpedaling them a little bit, but they've got that option. All right, we'll see how it goes. First, I'm going to just ensure that everything is within the distances, which I am certain of. Yes, yes. And then 25 inches over there on the Lancastrian side of their leader. So this is going to be more questionable what the radius is. So I might have to place a couple marker dice here. So 12 inches, there's 24. I think it's pretty safe to assume here, yeah, looks like all of this stuff is within command range. There's 12, 24, yes. How about here? This might be, yep, they're within range. And these guys are probably within range too. Yeah, okay, so that general order is going to be received by everybody on the Lancastrian side. Which reminds me, so these units that are halted, this is the last turn they're in their halt. So I'm going to move these dice kind of to the front so I know not to move these guys. Okay. Okay, so just a note on this end of the table. The general advance was sounded. These guys received it. They have a movement of 8. They moved forward 4, which is half of their move, because I'm waiting to see what would happen here. So this unit was repulsed in good order and would automatically rally unless they were attacked prior to being able to rally, which they weren't. They weren't. Cost 2 inches for them to turn about. And then they had not been attacked yet, because those guys, although they've got the ability to fire on the move, I think they would have faced about and been ready in advance of that. So they're not going to receive an attack prior to rallying. Okay, so it's turn 3. Almost all of the Lancastrians have been moved now due to the general order. These guys I am going to go ahead and give a missile shot to as they moved forward, because they were originally ordered to skirmish. Now over here, the Irish Kerns, although they're armed with javelins, I don't think so. They weren't ordered to skirmish, and there's another rule that says basically the weapons, it's subsumed into the weapons factor if you're armed with handheld throwing devices. So I'm not sure that I'm going to give these guys a throw or not as they come into contact here. These guys were able to rally. They turned around. They're moving through the forest. Forest, of course, doubles movement for footmen. All of the ambushes are unsprung now as the French crossbowmen come out of the woods, and same thing for the Welsh spearmen way down there at the end of the table. The units that were halted have to honor the halt for this turn, and then I'll remove those halts from them. These heavy horsemen, I've only moved half their distance, which is 3 inches of 6, because they're heavy horse with metal barding. These horsemen were repulsed. They've turned about. I need to resolve the attack by the billmen on their rear rank, Turnabout costs them 2 inches of movement of their 6. So we'll see how that works. I think I should still move them 8, but again, they're going to bump into these units. So let me resolve this attack real quick and see what happens. So high dice, low dice, regular troops. So it's going to be a factor of 2. We're talking about footmen with pole arms versus heavy horse. So troops in melee, heavy foot versus heavy horse with metal barding. That's actually going to be a factor of 4. So 4 plus 2, we're up to 6. Any tactical factors, we're attacking the rear. So that's going to make it, and this is attacking heavy horse in the rear. So we're at 6. Now we're going to add 2 more. So that's going to take us to 8. General considerations, no. So it's going to be factors of 8, figures, 4 figures, factor 8. Factor 8, 4 figures is actually 20, so they will inflict a casualty as these heavy horsemen come off. So remove that, and then, yes, of their 8 inches, so they can get 1, 2, 3, and they're in good order. It's treated as retirement, so the unit will move at normal movement rate, halt, and usually face about. If ordered to retire, the distance cannot be traversed in one turn. The unit will continue moving until it completes the task. So they have a mandatory 10 inches they have to move away, and they've only got 4 inches of movement left, which we'll see what happens. Might have to rally. The rally is automatic unless the unit is untrained or the unit has been attacked by a pursuer while retiring. Well, those guys are in an uncontrolled advance, so they are being attacked by a pursuer. In that case, the unit must roll a 1 or a 2 on d6. If the unit fails to rally, it will fall into disorder as it halts and not face about. So will these guys fall into disorder? Yeah, they're going to be disordered when they finally get to their destination, but they're treated as a retirement, so they don't burst through or do anything like that at all. And they have to wheel a bit here too because they got to move toward their baseline. So I think we're just going to halt them in disorder facing toward their baseline here in a second. Then we'll handle the uncontrolled advance. Yeah, those guys meaning this unit of footmen, are supposed to go into an uncontrolled advance for up to 2 turns. Uncontrolled advance is, the first turn is at the charge movement rate, and the second charge -3, and the second turn would disorder them. But I think it's safe to say that they're going to recontact the nearest enemy unit, which is the same horseman that just left, and they're going to hit them in the rear. And that's going to be another melee to handle during the melee phase or segment. Okay, so a bit of a problem with these disordered routing troops here. So the stakes are not yet in place. There is not a 3-inch gap from where they were within 5 inches of the edge of the unit, really. I mean, they can divert around to the right. So I guess it's 5 inches per unit, maybe. The other alternative is to have them burst through, which I don't think is a good option. There's plenty of room for them to sweep around. So I think of the movement that they have, which is charge -2, it takes them down from 16 to 14. I'm going to say 5 for this unit, 5 for that unit, so that's 10 inches. And then, are they still diverting? I'm going to just put them 10 inches. I'm just going to call it 10 inches movement out of their 14 is right here. And by that point, the order would have gotten to Sir Croft. Sir Croft would have made his way over and attached himself. So this unit is no longer, they are going to be able to rally, but they still have 4 inches left. So got another circumstance. It's going to cost them at least 5 inches of movement. I'm going to put them actually all the way over here and have Sir Croft catch up to them back here and then put them back into order. So quite a lot of movement, but I think it's supported by the rules. So at the end of the movement segment for turn number 3, we've got The stakes are in place. These guys are forming a battle line. There's a bit of a gap here. We've got a couple melees to resolve, some missile fire up here and another melee. So let's get that handled. And then he's going to rally back here. So most of the main body of the Yorkists is still uncommitted. Quite a lot of heavy horse, though, moving forward. So we'll see what happens.